freshly 21-year-olds from college in Arizona.
Sounds like a great time.
Mondo was here, and we were just taking shot after shot. We were pre-gaming heavy.
Yep.
I think 6-7 shots in, 4 locals going crazy.
So you guys are grooming them?
Yeah, we were grooming them, right? And they're all good-looking. They're good-looking young guys, right?
Good-looking young baseball players.
So then we all go to DV Lounge, and then like these fools are just turning up, going crazy. We're throwing bitches on them. They're all dancing. We're turning up, you know. I think I had a girlfriend.
Getting them
I had a
drunk.
girlfriend at the time.
You're getting them drunk to take them back home.
These niggas right now, go crazy.
Just getting them drunk and take them back home and let them pass out.
Yeah,
no,
well, the thing
Cosby.
is, now you get one guy that's all faded, and it's like, okay, we had, I think it was, 7 of us or 8, like you said, 10 of us at the time, and 3 of us cared about the guy that got faded. The other guys didn't give a fuck. So, it was me, one other guy, and another guy, and we went to go check on him. We had rotations, like, all right, let me go dance, and then, well, I'll switch with you, and you go dance, and I'll freaking keep my eye on him.
Do you guys clap cheeks or get some sweet cocksucks?
No.
We're too faded. Because
Well,
when you
no,
go,
we were there, and we played. We had a game the next day, so like
these fools came to play. It was during
Yeah,
baseball season.
during baseball
They were
season.
staying in Torrance. They got like a minivan.
Did
Uber.
you win the next day?
dude, I'm sure we did. I don't know.
You had a flu game? You had the fucking Jordan, the flu game?
Hell no.
Nah, you just hung the fuck over and shit.
Hell yeah,
That's
I
where
won.
the Adderall came in
Dude,
handy.
yes,
Full circle.
Yes, exact full
Just
circle.
Up at bat, just fucking
Our-
jump.
Yeah.
I just want to tell Isaac's mom, my tia Angie, sorry, not sorry. You know, every time he comes over here, we're about to get in some shit, and you know how life is. His mom's like from East LA, like she's super old school, like OG. She knows
she
the
knows what's
streets.
going on, yeah.
She knows what the fuck's going on. So like, sorry,
what
not
the fuck it
sorry.
is.
She still has to be a mom, No, don't do that. But I mean,
Yeah, she'll be like, no, don't do it. And then she'll turn around like drink and fucking chug a beer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married now. I have a kid. I'm good. I'm
It's a
loving it.
past life. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
past life, mom, okay? It's a very young, responsible, handsome young man.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka Nomo, chilling right here in the Lit Out It podcast with my very special co-host, Mr.
Doof.
And we got a very special guest in the building, the one and only
Isaac Para.
Yes, sir. Isaac Para from the Gold Glove Academy, coming straight out of Phoenix,
GGA.
where he resides. But he's actually from, like his hat says, East LA, right?
Yes, sir. I'm from East LA. I was born here in '96. I actually visited my hospital yesterday.
I was born there too.
LA Community Hospital doesn't even look like a hospital. It looks
It's
like a regular building.
It's the only one-story hospital like in the world.
Yeah, and it's so crowded there. It's like, how can you find that hospital with all those like automobile friggin' shops and just everything around it? So, I moved to Arizona when I was 9, and then been living there since.
So is this like wintertime to you now? We say it's hot out here, but that Arizona hot is probably completely different.
Yeah. So right now it's August. We didn't hit the 120s or 117s out there this summer, but it was definitely hot. It rained a little more this summer, so it got a little more humid. But here, we went to the beach today, and it was pretty amazing. I missed the beach.
Yesterday we were hanging out right here and we are watching like TV and shit like that, and I felt bad because I haven't got my new AC yet. So it was like 80 something or 90, and I was like, "Hey guys, I felt bad. I'm so sorry, I haven't got my AC yet.
Right.
I'm in here sweating." They're like, "Bro, this feels good."
Yeah.
He's wearing a hoodie and jeans and shit. He's like, dude.
Right. We went outside. I was playing with football with the kids, and I was loving it, man. And when I come out here, I don't really visit California, too much often now because now I have a baby. But when I do, I just try to freaking play with the cousins, and we always did when we were younger. So we just kind of, and it's only 2 of them here. So who else they're gonna play with? So
Yeah.
I figured just play with them and keep them company too.
Yeah, they love that shit because my son's always like, "Dad, let's play wiffle ball. Dad, let's do
Right.
this." Dad, I'm like, "God damn, this fool needs a brother."
Yeah, and it's
dog."
don't wanna
busy.
do this
and,
shit.
and honestly, I think that's why some parents might want more kids.
Just to keep them in
Just to keep. I mean, I don't want to say
Free-
that because I feel like
free
it's
daycare.
Yeah, it's
But
like
do you remember
insensitive.
you were
but-
part of like you're really young, but you were also part of like our generation where like
Yeah.
go outside and play. Me,
Right.
Giovanni, your brother, and like Rudy would like just go outside when we used to visit them in East LA. We'll just be outside for hours and then come back when we're hungry or thirsty or someone starts crying.
Yes. We definitely got into some trouble because we just wanted to get into some shit. Good story. I remember, the canals, those deep canals,
The riverbed.
the riverbend. Our dads were playing baseball, and my mom, was, "Hey, go out there and play with your cousins, whatever." So we went, and she's like, "But you better not go down there, because if you can't get up, I'm not gonna get your ass. If I do, I'm gonna whip your ass." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So we go down there, sure enough. I don't know if Eric was with me, because if he was with me, he wasn't
Yeah.
trying to help me, because he was already up there. So I was like fucking struggling, and sure enough, my mom gets me, and yeah, she whipped me. So
Pushed you right back down.
yeah,
I have a
yeah.
similar story. I think that happened at Montecito Park. It's off the, like the 2 freeway. When the 710 turns into the 2 before Pasadena, there's a little park right there, and then there's a hole in this chain link fence. Our dads are playing baseball, and then our thing is we go down the riverbed and throw rocks onto the freeway. Like that was how bad of a kids we were.
Little bastards.
And
Yeah,
then one
so-
time I got stuck too. And I'm like, go get help, please,
Yeah.
go get me. And I couldn't get up because it was too steep. Everyone got up
Right.
except me. And then I think my tia came out, your mom, and she goes, just walk over here. And I just walked like 500 feet this way, and then there's like a ramp you could just walk
Right.
up regular. I was like, oh my God, I was tripping over nothing.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad.
It was crazy. I mean, obviously, I don't remember my time here.
Yeah, you were little.
I
dog.
was little, so but all the stories, maybe a little exaggeration with my mom or whatever, but little stories here and there about me just being a fool and just
And then
causing a ruckus.
you and my brother, which are like, you guys are like only a couple years apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then me and your brother are the same year. So you guys used to always like tag along and follow us, and you guys wouldn't leave us the fuck alone, dog.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like you guys just wanted to fucking be a chicle, just
Yeah.
be right outside and play with us, and we would hate it because how you little ass kids don't want to, you know?
Right, and then I heard I snitched too.
All the
so, like,
time.
why would you want to
Oh,
be
you
hanging out
little
with some
bastard.
kids that are gonna snitch
They would
to
always
mama?
snitch, and
That
this
was like
was
my
snitched the
little
most.
sister.
though.
Yeah,
My little sister was snitching ass bitch.
But it's because this was like the baby at the time, and then like he was like the golden child, and he had blonde hair and like light skin, so he was
Pony boy?
He was literally like, you just met his dad, right? And like
Yeah.
he's super dark skinned, and then this was like a golden boy. Like, oh, don't touch him! Like he's a golden child, and then he was really good at sports, so like he already had that like thing, and he would always snitch on us. Me and Giovanni tried to get in trouble, and then
I
Fucking
know.
hooligans.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Sorry. I mean, I didn't know better.
no, but that
yeah.
says more like now as an adult. That says more
Yeah.
about us. Like we were fucking around, and he was trying to be a good guy.
He was trying to
Right,
help
I
you
mean-
guys out. You were like, fuck you.
Yeah, shut up.
until this day, like he's like legit, like a good person, and then me and my friends.
Yeah,
my
I mean,
family are
you
still
know,
assholes.
I always say you. Now you're the age of reason. Now I turn, at I don't know, shoot, man. I remember being anti-weed for a long time because my brother was into all that stuff, and my parents were like, the weed's the devil, and it's gonna lead you to things and like that. And so I was scared until I did hit my, first joint or whatever it was. I can't remember.
Like it was all a lie.
And it was like, hey, I'm not over here acting a fool. I'm not like, partying, and I'm staying home, chilling. Like, so then, I'm like, okay, well, it's not bad. And then I started realizing like people are not as bad as people perceive them to be because of just a drug or whatever. People have mental illness, stuff like that. So you never know
Yeah.
what someone's going through or what they have gone through for them to cope,
I think-
or whatever the case may be.
I think a lot of people that just happen to do drugs and then go crazy, like they already have that like schizophrenic gene in them. They already hated the world. They were gonna do something bad. Most drugs, not all of them.
Right.
Most drugs is like money. It's only gonna make you more you.
Right.
If you're violent and you get drunk or high, like you're gonna go do some crazy
Right.
shit, right? But drugs, especially like weed and stuff like that, like I wouldn't want to see my kids do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if I had to pick one, that'd probably be the one to like
Mm-hmm.
just chill out and be mellow.
Yeah, it's just research, man. Because you got like our parents. I mean, they grew up with the war to drugs, right? Like around that time.
Yeah, the
so they're-
madness shit.
Yeah,
The
they
DARE
already had
program.
they already have a perception about all that stuff. So you can't really change their mind right then and there. It's just, I mean, I'm pretty good example of it. I smoke sometimes and I still go to work. I get my bills paid. I love my wife. I love my kids. So, I mean,
Is weed legal in Arizona right now?
it is. Yeah.
Like recreational, like
Recreational, but the thing is, they tax you like it's like a 20%
Yeah,
tax,
tax.
unless
That's
you
the
have
worst
your,
part about it.
Unless you have your med card, but then you got to pay $350 for the med card, and you don't get taxed as much, and you get like discounts and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean
That's the worst part about when they made it legal was the fucking hella tax on it. Now it's like fucking $60.
Yeah, they found a reason
the
to make it legal. Now
Yeah,
they
they're
can,
like,
they can
if you
make more money
potheads
off
want
of
this,
it.
you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, it's only been illegal for like 70 years. It's like, why? Why 70? We've been here for a billion.
Some bullshit.
when I was smoking weed, I was 22. What is that? 2012.
2001.
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I was what? I was a sophomore in high school.
But I was smoking heavy. Like I was an adult. I had a job. I would go to the dispensary and buy weed. Back then, like the best eighth was like $90.
Okay.
Top shelf. Or you could get one for like 5 grams for 50 or 5 grams for 60 and 5 grams for 70. So to me, weed has always been that price. what trips me out is now you can go to the dispensary and get the kind of weed I used to get for $30 a fucking eighth. Like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Well, that shit's different now. Like, I smoked with my dad sometimes, and then like, well, now he's like, when I first started smoking with him, he had no fucking idea. Like, we smoke, he'd hit one fucking hit and be like, the fuck is this? You're like, it's not the same shit that you used to smoke.
We're not dealing with your average weed.
Yeah, we're not dealing with your fucking oregano. Like, this is some
This
shit
is something
right here.
animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is reanimated.
Yeah, that thing too. Look, when I used to smoke, I've been through like most levels where buying it off the street off somebody, or even buying off the street with somebody, taking out the stems and seeds, buying little bags of kush when kush first came out, and then going to the dispensary when first dispensaries came out. All that weed, you could smoke blunt after blunt and be cool and not even trip. Nowadays, this is the main reason why I don't smoke no more. I just get so paranoid just because of how strong and like crazy they make it, you know?
Dude, you know I saw a picture of a difference of like weed that they put GMOs and pesticides and all that shit, and then just regular, just let it grow. Yeah,
Outdoor.
it's so much like the weed that's pesticides and GMOs, so much bulkier, dense,
sticky.
And even me sometimes when I smoke it from a dispo, I trip myself out sometimes too.
You're paranoid, right?
Well, not really paranoid, but like it's much like a intense high.
Super
Instead of like just
You get
mellow.
stoned.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, and maybe it is the shit that they put in it, or
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I could definitely understand why you feel that way.
And you
too.
got to think about it like as a business. Like if you're growing your own weed and you want to be the best of the best, wouldn't you have to have a moral like war in your head? Like, should I make this really addictive or just really kind of addictive? Like, obviously, if you're obviously you don't want to make it addictive, but if you're just into money, you have no disregard for the public. Fuck it, I'm gonna do this and that, make it hell. And then you can only smoke cookies, you can only smoke runts, you can only smoke the designer weed,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's scary, dog.
It is
We're
because
dealing with drugs, we're not dealing with clothes or.
exactly. It's just like they're mass producing a lot of stuff, and it's just the same thing.
I
don't
like
know.
being stoned.
Me
I don't
too.
know, I like that shit.
Me
We're
too.
just on a whole nother fucking planet.
Me too.
Hey.
But if I'm like doing something, I don't want to do it. Like if I'm obviously like coaching or whatever the case with me, I don't want to be that stoned. But if I'm right here, yeah, let's do it.
I used to play stoned all the time.
I've heard that's really. I didn't really get stoned. I
But-
took Adderall when I played.
Yeah.
So it was definitely.
So you was focused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
saw the
fucking
ball. I
zoned
mean, the
the
ball
fuck
was
in.
beat.
Oh, you
beat
felt
ball,
every single
yeah.
lace on that bitch.
Yeah, it was like my junior. It was no, honestly, it was like my junior year. That's when I started of college. That's when I started, and then the first time it was like. But the only downfall is you do get a little bit anxious. So when you're up, like when I was up to bat, I was just like, all right, bring it to me. But you can't be like that. You gotta be just nice and relaxed, you know. So there's some downfalls to it. You just gotta know who you are.
Is there a come down from Adderall?
Yeah. It depends on what you take. So I took two. I took one Vyvanse, which lasts about like 12 hours. So if I had a doubleheader that day, I would take it after I ate breakfast. So around like if the game was at 8, I would eat breakfast at 6. Boom, take it after, and then it would hit me around like maybe mid game of the first game, and then it'll just last all the way to the second game. The other ones were just instant ones, so it lasted me about 4 hours. But those were a little bad on my body just because it like cramped me up so bad. You gotta drink a lot of water while you're taking that.
It feels shitty afterward because you
It does.
don't eat.
Yeah, you don't eat exactly. You don't
You're not
eat. You have
hungry?
no appetite.
It's kind of like
Nope.
Coke.
Yeah, it's just
It's like I think it's like
Prescribed.
technically like meth.
it's a methamphetamine.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it's like
shit.
medical meth. But what's funny is like when I was younger, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Surprise, and fucking so. But the shit I was taking was called like Concerta, and then so it's like funny how like now it's just like if I told my mom I took an Adderall, she'd be like, "What are you doing that shit for?" I was like, "Bitch, you prescribed that to me when I was 12." I was like, What do you mean?
But doesn't
What
that
you
calm
mad?"
you? Doesn't it calm people that
I mean,
have ADHD down?
It's like
It's like
it'd
the
be funny. So
opposite?
I would take it. I started taking like middle school, and then like I stopped in like freshman year of high school. But like I would come into class and just sit there and just do my work and do whatever. And then the other days I wouldn't take the pill. I just come in and just like be myself. And like the people in my class would be like, "Oh, you didn't take your pill today, huh, Jeff?" And I was just like, I'm just being myself, and I just hated like that robot fucking feeling
Yeah.
and shit. So I stopped fucking taking it. Like revolted to my mom, like I'm not doing this shit.
Right.
But now that I'm older, I'm like I gotta clean the house, fucking pop it.
Bop. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just depending on how you're using it. You know, like, shit. I know a lot of D1 or even major league players that took it in class or for class or not lied but went to the doctor and said like, hey, I can't focus in class, and boom, they give it to you like that.
Don't
So,
do drugs, kids. Give them
yeah,
to
I'm
us.
definitely not recommending it, man, but
Yeah,
hey,
give it to me.
Don't
you
do
know,
drugs unless your drug dealer's in a doctor's office wearing a white coat.
that's
And
another
a white
thing.
hood.
Yeah, that's another thing.
America's number one
Yeah.
drug dealer in the world is America.
Did you hear about
America.
Mark Cuban's thing that he's doing with
Oh,
prescription?
the hella cheap.
Oh, I
shit.
love that, dog.
Yeah.
Mark
Talk
Cuban's
about
gonna,
it.
he's gonna die.
So what I've heard, about it is he's charging way cheaper, because you have, insurance or whatever,
Pharmaceutical.
pharmaceutical companies that are charging for tax or just putting extra fees and
He's
this and
charging
that.
like wholesale. Just
Yeah,
regular.
he's just charging regular, and you're getting it for way cheaper. So
And it's like directly mailed to your house. And
Yeah.
like
like I
Yeah,
said, I haven't
discreet
really
packaging.
looked into it, but I
used
saw
to-
just headlines of it.
when I worked at the doctor's office, I saw it. The pharmaceutical companies will send in a rep, a guy in a suit, and to have a meeting with the doctor and be like, hey, if you prescribe more of this, whatever, it's an eye drop or a pill, whatever, and then they go to the pharmacy. Every time they go to the pharmacy and they fill the prescription, it sends us a thing, and then we're gonna send you a kickback or we're gonna take you guys to dinner. So like, how can you like
It's trippy.
trust the company that like they're just doing this for the money,
Right.
and then they gotta pay the rep, they gotta pay the doctor, they gotta pay for the dinner,
Oh, yeah.
and so like all that money ends up being on the back of the fucking person taking the drugs, right? Instead of
Right.
paying $15, you're paying 150 now,
Right.
So like he's just taking out all the middleman,
Yeah.
getting the drugs wholesale and just mailing it to people.
Yeah, a big eye opener was when Ozzy was born, my kid. We're in the hospital, and same thing with the epidural. My wife didn't want to get one, but then she eventually did because the pain was, a little rough. So she got one, and so then it wears off, a certain time, and then they're literally like putting another one in her, or more in her, but asking her if she wants it. Like basically like, hey, do you want it? And she they're already giving it to her, so obviously she's gonna say yes, So and then they're getting paid more for that.
Yeah.
They're getting paid more for a lot of things.
So the nurses are like strippers when you're getting that dance. Like, you want another dance?
Yeah,
And
they're already
the song
dancing on
already
you.
started.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, hold up, bitch. How many songs is this? man?
Right.
Hold on.
Is this a free trial?
Yeah,
Like, what
like,
is
come
this?
on. How many epidurals is this? How many songs is this?
Yeah, so it's
So
crazy,
giving
man.
birth is like the strip club is what we came up with.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. We should do a skit about that.
The more you know.
right.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, you could really go in deep to it. It's how it's just corrupt and how they're just trying to get money without making it seem like they want your money, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm sure the people who invented the drugs do it for the good reason. But once you get into like the business people, the salespeople, like they always have to find a way to fuck it
Yeah,
up,
man.
get greedy and shit. You
Right,
know?
right.
So it's tough. It's
America.
tough.
America.
Yeah.
That's America right there.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean,
Yeah.
I watched a lot of George. I don't know if you've heard of George Carlin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of videos on him, and he was just like, you lived, you were born, right, and you gotta pay. You gotta pay so much money to just be born, and then when you're dead, you
gotta
still
pay.
gotta pay.
Yeah.
So it's
Not just
like,
free.
god dang, like you're already born into paying, and
Yeah.
So
Did you guys
it's
watch
crazy.
the George Carlin documentary?
I did.
That was pretty cool. I didn't
It
know
was
he
dope.
was that old.
Yeah, he was old.
He was on TV when like it was black
Yeah.
and white, like
Yeah.
he
He was
tied
like,
and shit.
like Chris Rock and them grew up watching him.
Right.
Like that, like the goats of like our era, the older ones, like that was like their goat.
And then he went like from like button ups to ties to like fucking hippie hipster, being loved, the world's most famous comedian, then fell off dramatically.
Right.
And then tried to come back, couldn't do it. And then again at the end of his career came back, went hard. Like, he
Yeah.
had a long up and down career.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
he realized. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
That's why I feel like a lot of people our age, at least I did too, caught him at that tail end and didn't know all the other shit before.
Exactly.
You just see him saying all this crazy, profound
Right.
shit on stage, and you're like, oh, who's this guy? Not knowing he's been doing it for fucking 50 years.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go on. Is I think he realized that he couldn't touch the audience. He tried to be like all the ones that were hot at the time or whatever, and he's like, okay, let's switch things up. Then he started talking about real stuff, and then he's like, okay, more people like that. So then they kind of tap in into. I feel like with comedians, like I watch a lot of comedy skits or whatever you could say, and once they have an audience and they like that joke, they're gonna keep on
Feeding it.
going with that joke or saying the same thing over and over. So it's just something that they're really good at doing.
Yeah. What kind of who are your favorite comics or what do you like to watch?
Right now, I mean, Kevin Hart to an extent. He's kind of cheesy to me sometimes.
I
But
used to like the old Kevin Hart.
I like Kevin Hart. Well, George Carlin. And then the guy that you showed yesterday, what's his
Andrew
name?
Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. He's
Fucking-
This guy's one of the number one fans.
really, you like him?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes,
That's
he's
my
grew
boy.
on me. He's
Yeah,
grew on
oh,
me.
he's fucking hilarious.
Joe Coy is pretty funny. So there's, I mean, I don't really have like a favorite.
Like to me,
I like Michael Rappaport. He could be funny.
Yeah, he's
you
cool
know?
'cause he talks about sports.
Yeah.
But to me, recently, like comedy was always one of my things I love. But to me now, comedy is almost like sports and rap. Like you're starting to learn the names, their stats, the name of their
Culture,
specials,
right.
what's their attributes, and what kind of jokes they do.
Right,
Like
right.
comedy's really getting up there. You
Yeah.
feel me?
But it's also dope about comedy, and it's been like that for a while. It's just there's always something for everybody. So you can have like the fluffies and stuff, like the fun, clean, the Jim Gaffigans. You could have the Andrew Scholes and the Bill Burrs, or which just like fucking that New York or the East Coast talk shit style. And then you could have like the Joe Rogans and everything like that. Just
Right.
there's always something for everyone.
Different levels.
Comedy's dope because it's a little bit different from like rap and sports. Like no matter what demographic you are, every family, kitchen table, or just
Oh, yeah.
homies, it's always comedy is always involved in every conversation.
Right, 100%. I mean, I grew up watching George Lopez. I mean, I didn't really listen to Carlos what is it?
Mencia.
Mencia, yeah. But then, I watched a lot of BET, watched a lot of MTV. So you got Chris Rock, you got Martin Lawrence, Def Jam comedy, or Def Comedy Jam, all that stuff. So it's pretty, I mean, I want my son to be cultured, I don't want him to be just listening to Mexican music or just American only, like I like the African music, like Masego or who else? Shoot, I mean I can't really think about anyone. Thames, yes.
John
Thames.
Mayer.
Who is it?
John Mayer.
Very African.
Yeah, he's-
What tribe is he from, Jeff?
The guitarist.
Right.
The guitarist.
The guitarist.
But yeah, I mean the more you know the better, or at least if you could learn about it.
What are some of the biggest differences? I know you left. What? How old were you when you moved out of LA to Arizona?
9.
9.
So 10. you
Like
could say.
and then you always have people keep moving from LA to Arizona. And you're probably there waiting for them. Like, oh, you're from LA, me too.
Right.
Whatever. You just move here. What are some of the biggest differences you see from like LA people that move to Phoenix or Arizona when they first get there, and then eventually how do they become? What makes you like Arizona? Like, oh, you're from Phoenix.
I don't. So when we got there at first, Arizona was like we called it a retirement. At the time they called it a retirement state. So it was just really quiet. You got a lot of senior homes, senior citizens and stuff like that. So it was really quiet. And then a lot of people from LA started to come moving down, and I feel like the culture has changed to where since LA and California is right next to Arizona, now it's like trying to keep up with the Jones a little bit. Some people out there, so they're trying to be.
Like Edgar's and Troqueando Cut.
Yeah, like
Corridos.
I don't want to say they're trying to be something that they're not. I feel like that's not fair to them, but it just seems a little just
I get it. It's
fake.
like you were there before the culture shifted, so now
Yeah.
you see like, are you really about that culture, or are you just trying to be like everybody
right.
else?
And then the Suns are good, the Cardinals are they're whatever.
They got Kyler Murray. They're not
Kyler
good. But
Murray,
they got Kyler Murray.
I don't want to say they're good, but
All right.
so now the Dodgers have always been good, Lakers always been good, so we've always. I think people in LA already held up to that standard. I
I
feel
don't
like.
know if the Dodgers have always been good.
Well, I mean, they always make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They always make the playoffs, so
can't say that
that's
about the
good.
Eagles.
You know?
Participation trophy.
No, but
Yeah.
like the thing is, like when the Dodgers go to Arizona, it's like a home game, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
And then
So
Arizona,
much
we always look at you guys as like the little brother,
Right,
And
right,
you guys
yeah.
are finally getting big enough and old enough to maybe compete with the big brother, even though you're not.
Right.
But you're starting to like see the horizon.
Yes.
And people are like, all right, the Valley, the
Yeah,
Suns.
even when it
Phoenix.
comes to sports, a lot of the D-backs fans, they get excited early in the season because they're 10 games over 500, but then we all know, like especially me, like dude, relax. Like we all know, come by All-Star break, you guys are gonna be trash. 20 games
What happened
behind.
with the guy they just drafted?
Oh, exactly, Andrew June's son, right?
Andrew Jones Jr.
Jones Jr. Yeah, torn labrum.
The day he
The
gets drafted.
day he got drafted, or not, I don't think the day he got drafted. The day he visited Arizona, the club, that he had BP that day. Torn labrum.
They're cursed, bro.
Where's your labrum in your tank?
No,
shoulder.
hip. You got one in your hip, and you got one in your shoulder, or shoulders and hips.
Didn't you have a similar injury?
2. I tore my left labrum in high school, and then my right labrum my senior year in college.
You should have just took some ringworm medicine like Tatis.
Right. Hey, I could have took some steroids in JUCO. I got offered.
It was
but-
ringworm
yeah.
medicine, okay?
Yeah, right.
It wasn't
How
steroids.
easy is it to get steroids in college?
I don't know how easy, but
You can find them, bro.
so hopefully it's the right person that you get it from, and then
Not putting fentanyl on the steroids.
dude, I mean, we played a college. Their name was Central College, and there's a guy, I forgot his name, but he tried to jump over our catcher with a play at the plate, and he was a big steroid guy. Kneed him in the head, and went to the hospital for a concussion.
Oh, the guy that need him or the catcher?
The catcher.
Damn.
Yeah, the catcher.
Is there no steroid testing in college?
Not in JUCO, but once you go to NCAA,
Fucking free range.
yeah, that's what
Maybe
you
we
have.
shouldn't have said that.
No, that's
You heard it here now. If you go play JUCO ball, he told you.
Yeah, right. And then once you go to NCAA, yeah, that's when they start testing you. But
How do you feel about like Tatis coming back from an injury and then getting tested?
Bring
being caught?
steroids back to baseball.
We're big like just let them do it, but just like under the scope and make sure it's healthy. But like when you get
Unhealthy.
when you get sick, when you break something, the first thing the doctor's gonna prescribe you is a fucking steroid, dog. You know, like how do you feel about that?
so how I feel about it, I feel like Jeff said, bring all that back.
Bring that
you
shit
know,
back.
I mean, they're juicing up balls. They're doing
Juicing, de-juicing.
right. So I mean, you're already manipulating the game, and now you're gonna get mad at someone that's, for instance, like Tatis is injured. He wants to get back. You know, I mean, yeah, whether he remembers it or not, or thinks he took steroids or not, he's trying to get back to the team. And I mean, shit, they just signed Juan Soto, so like just that anticipation of getting back to the team. I feel like that's the reason why. I had this friend in high school that mentioned to me he had a visit from an ex-big leaguer, and he pretty much said that everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but the majority of, players in MLB take some sort of enhancement. I don't know if all enhancements are considered steroids, I know
equally.
there's a list of what you can't take.
Banned
Substance. Because I know some players have thyroid issues, and when you have thyroid issues, you
You have to take certain
you have to
things.
take some steroid or something like that. So, yeah. So I mean, I feel like drugs shouldn't even be illegal. People should take whatever they want.
I'm
feel
50-50 on that
Hot
because
take.
of this. Look, if you don't make them illegal, what's going to happen is, all right, people are going to start experimenting. Let me get a little bit of this and a little bit of that mixed together. And then someone passes out, then no one can be held accountable because like, well, it's legal. We can do whatever we want. It's not like you're mixing Sprite with a Coke, You're mixing you're mixing some shit that can kill you, lethal, toxic stuff. So making it illegal kind of stops people from like going too crazy. Mm-hmm. And then, because you always have like, what if I go to jail? What if I die? Like, let me not do this.
But they're still doing it though. They would still. I feel like they would still do it.
If you're gonna
Maybe
do
not as
heroin,
much.
you're gonna do heroin. Like
Yeah.
whether it's illegal or not, if you're gonna get to that point, you do heroin. You're gonna do heroin.
Okay, look,
If they made it legal, I wouldn't. No, maybe.
Yeah, you see, if that's I'll be the devil's advocate. What if you could go, say you're at the fucking 7-Eleven and you're picking up some fucking honey buns, a Four Loko, and some water. And you're like, oh look, a heroin pill. Like, you guys want to trip out tonight? Do some heroin, guys?
Fuck yeah.
You get 4 guys together at high school age, like, hey, you guys want to trip out on some heroin tonight?
So it would
Fuck
be
it,
like-
let's try it.
yeah.
It's gonna get real
Or
gay.
make it illegal and be like, okay, we can't even find it, even do it. Like, that's why we're never gonna
Yes,
try it.
yeah.
If you make it too easy, people are gonna try everything.
Yeah, I see. I mean, now that you say that, I see both sides of the. Nice.
Holy shit.
An hour later.
Yeah, but I see both sides of the coin. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want that. And then now, who's gonna the grocery store or whoever you bought it from is not gonna give a damn. Or
You get some Kroger cocaine.
right? Yeah,
that's
you know,
some
your
cheap
grocery
shit.
Where's this
store-
Coke from?
Yeah,
If it's
so-
Walmart, I don't want to take that.
But I guess in a sense of like, people are gonna do what they want to do anyways. So I guess I mean, shit, take whatever you want.
If there was like this government or state office, like, all right, these are the drugs that you could take. We test them or whatever. Let's make it legal. Let's do it. You guys are gonna do it anyways. But another thing too is this: like, what if you have a whole society, a whole country that's everyone's strung out on drugs? How easy would it be for another big superpower, like a communist country like China, that doesn't let their people do anything and they just have to be in the army at all times? They're just fucking meat soldiers, meat robots, and they just come over and take us over, dog. It will be too easy of a target.
Well, the fucking
Yeah.
military and shit's not gonna do that shit.
If it's legal, why not? You don't think people in the military smoke weed?
They're not gonna do heroin and shit. They're still gonna regulate those fuckers.
Well, we have one of the smallest armies right now.
Says who?
We only have like 3 million people in all 4 fucking major whatever.
I have no comment in this subject because
fuck
I don't really
everybody
know.
up.
I don't really
That's
know
why no
the
one fucks with
military or how many soldiers.
We have one of the smallest, like, as far as like people, like bodies. We have 3 million people like in the armed forces, but we also have the most technology out of everybody. So
That we know of.
We really don't. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Goddamn-
I don't know.
Goddamn Chinese.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like they're ahead of us.
Is it
Shit.
just me, or
Have
does it
you-
feel like World War III is actually a possibility now?
Shoot, I don't know. Maybe.
I think it is now.
I
At
don't
that
know.
point too, if some shit like that happens, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna die.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you look at history, where we are based off like war and all that stuff, so I mean,
That's-
it
yeah, that's
could
the whole
possibly
world.
happen.
The whole world is based off war.
Maybe not now that we're living, or maybe shit down the road it might
You guys
happen.
are selfish for bringing in children into this world to give them a shitty, war-torn world.
Hey, you don't. Yeah, that's.
Imagine you had like kids in your ball sack right now. Like, come on, I'm gonna either die, live for 24 hours in your sack, or let me be alive for 10 years. Let me just experience being alive. And just like, no, I'm gonna nut you off into my blanket.
You're gonna go on Josh's ass. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, right.
At
Like,
least my sons get to live, like, experience life, breathe air, eat some McDonald's. You know. figure it out.
I feel like us growing up, we have a big family in general, so
We have a really big family.
I always wanted a family. I mean, shit. Whether I thought it was okay, when in high school or whatever, but I always wanted a family. So
Me too. I always wanted to be a dad.
yeah. So now that I'm getting older and I'm realizing how the world works and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, why would you bring someone in this world? You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, it's like, shit.
I think to
we're
me,
we're doing
It's
good.
just-
We're chilling.
It's just a long-winded justification of y'all pull-out game weak.
Yeah.
It's like, if we think the world is a shitty place and we're not consider ourselves shitty people, like, the only way to battle the shitty people is bring more non-shitty people in here. So, like, I think to me, like, before I would say I only want 3 kids. Now I think I want like 6, 7, 8.
Really?
Yeah.
See, with me, I'm the opposite.
Wanna
You'll get a little
wanted,
older.
like,
You'll get a little
5.
older because I used to be like that when I was your
I
age.
wanted like 5, or right now I wanted like 5, but then now it's like, shoot, maybe
It's
just
the money
2.
thing.
Bunch of
It's the
Elon.
money
Yeah,
thing.
it is.
Watch,
it
if
is.
you double your income in the next 5 years, you're like, all right, fuck it.
Bunch of
It's how
Elon
many you
Musks
can
out here.
afford. It's how many you can afford.
Bunch of Elon
Yeah,
Musk
that's
and Antonio
crazy,
Hey,
too.
Cromartie.
Elon
bro.
Musk trying to populate Mars himself, my
Bro,
boy.
that is wild. And
Antonio
that's just
Cromartie.
basically, you have so much money you could do whatever the fuck you
Even
want.
his dad is like, oh, did you guys know that Elon Musk did not invent Tesla?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he bought it. Well, he invested in it. Like they did it like a investment. They asked for money to invest, and they needed
Just
7
made it what
million.
it was.
They need 7 million. He gave 6.1. So he automatically became like the CEO, chairman, and he's never invented anything in his life. And then he just became the boss when Tesla was barely coming up, and that's it.
I feel like I get lost sometimes when he talks. So
He's a little weird when he
Because we're
talks.
too
Yeah.
stupid.
I think most
I feel like he gets like really high.
people think that when he's talking, like, oh, this guy invented Tesla. He came up with the electric vehicle. He came up with the battery. He came up with the rocket shit. He didn't come up with shit.
Right.
He's just the guy at the top that owns the company, and he has other little minions working for him. So when people talk to him, they get mesmerized by the whole way he talks. Like, bro, he just had the money, and also he got his riches from his family in South Africa. Back in South Africa, they had this thing called apartheid, where they kicked out all the black people and then brought in all the white people. And his family owns what is it called when they take out diamonds out of the
Gold
earth?
mines.
Well, it was an emerald field, and they made like billions and billions of dollars off emeralds. And then they all moved to America, and that's how he got money to start PayPal, and then that's how he got money to start Tesla.
So
Do
he
you think you're
started
smarter than
PayPal?
Elon Musk?
Huh?
Do you think you're smarter than Elon Musk?
Depends on what. He has more experience in building rockets because he works at a rocket place. Like,
Just-
ask him how do you throw a fucking 4-seam fastball to see what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That doesn't make you smart. That's
he just-
athletics.
No, you're
I meant
talking
intelligence-wise.
you're just talking about like IQ in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because I don't. That's not important to me. Like book smart shit.
But I'm just saying, you
If
think
I
you're
were to
smarter than,
dedicate
do you think you're
myself-
smarter than Elon Musk?
No,
Okay.
I'm not smarter than a lot of people. That's
I
not important
thought,
to me.
I thought that's where you were going.
Yeah, I
I
was
thought,
like,
I thought you
yeah.
were
What
going
I'm
with
going
that.
to-
I was
what
like,
I'm going to is
what
this.
is he saying?
What I'm going to is this: there's a lot of like Elon Musk fanboys that don't understand that a lot of his money is dirty money, and he did not invent the
All big
things-
money's dirty money.
Yeah.
He did not invent
Facts.
the things that you think he invented.
There's no rich guy that got all clean money.
I'm sure there's a couple.
No, there's not.
Mark Cuban.
No. There's some dirty money in there.
I mean,
Oh,
Mark,
obviously there's some.
Hey,
but not
Mark
all.
Cuban did. I mean, he was kind of an asshole. I mean, maybe he is still.
Yeah, I
one,
think you
but
have to be an asshole to be that rich.
yeah.
If you're not an asshole, you're gonna give it away every time you get $1. Like, oh, here you can have it. Oh, here you can have it.
Yeah.
At one point, you gotta get greedy. Like, oh, let me just save this for myself.
No, yeah, in that aspect for sure. But I'm saying like he portrayed like you see him just maybe.
I'm not saying they're
NBA
bad people,
court.
but the money at some point is not all the way nice
Yeah.
and clean.
No, I have no problem with that. What do you,
mean,
Isaac? What do you say to people like Jeff that say that baseball is the most boring sport in America and it should not even be a sport? What do you
So
say to
I
something like that?
agree
Yeah.
to him to an extent.
Well, no,
So I agree to
it's either
him.
baseball or soccer.
No. I love soccer. I watch soccer.
They both are boring as hell.
I agree with that. Baseball is boring, but I still would watch. I still would watch a 9-inning game if it goes to extra innings. I'll still watch it. I'll still be in action. I'll still be a fan. But I know why people. Dude, people have low
Short attention spans.
Yeah, of course. That's why people love softball. Dude, everyone loves softball. You know what I'm saying? So it's quick.
College softball.
Yes, quick.
Women's to be exact.
Women's, yeah. I mean, even
So
slow
recreation.
pitch, slow pitch softball, even that's huge in Arizona. People would rather much play that than your Sunday League baseball. Yeah. Because it's shorter. You play Sunday League, it's 4 hours. It could be 5 hours if there's no game after you. People are drunk. So pitchers take their time.
If MLB hired you, like if this season you have to save MLB today, what are some of the rules or things you would change to save baseball today?
I feel like everyone is on a routine. As a baseball player, you're getting taught to be on a routine. Take your time in the box, breathe. If the pitcher rushes you, call time, right? So you're on that routine. I don't think there's a way to slow it down. If you're trying to slow it down, now you're messing up with people's routines. I guess people could adjust to the time limit or the pitch clock and stuff like that, right? But I feel like as a baseball player, and if you want more success or whatever, I feel like you just let them play.
To me, the first thing I would do is 3 strikes or out, gotta go. I think it's gotta be 2 strikes or out.
Okay.
4 balls is too many. I think it's gotta be 3.
Depends on who you ask.
So
That's
it'd be
small.
two. It would be 2-2 full count.
Yeah, like 3 balls, you get a walk. 2 strikes, you're out. And then 3
Oh,
outs
okay.
in the inning is too many. You gotta get 2.
You get 1 out.
So in
No,
that,
you get 2.
No, you get 1 pitch per batter. Figure that shit out.
Yeah.
One
That
out.
will make it.
Or one
But think
swing,
about
one
it.
swing.
You get 1 swing.
One
Think
swing.
about how exciting that would be. And then the game will finish like in 45 minutes.
Right.
Every game is a home run derby.
Hey.
There's no fielders. It's just a pitcher and the batter. Figure it out, pitcher.
Oh, every game that ends in a tie, home run derby.
You know the Savannah or what is it? The Bananas.
Oh,
team?
that was that
Bananas.
dancing shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're in that league. I guess a foul ball. If a fan catches it, it's an out.
Yeah, it counts.
So I'm all for that.
That would be
That's dope.
Everyone
That's
shows up to
dope.
the game with their glove.
And
Think
that would
about
get
how
people
much-
more involved in
How
shit.
many more
Yeah.
people are gonna attend and then just like bring their gloves and just be anticipating a foul ball, making a diving catch, their highlight reel.
And then like once in a
And
while,
then they give you a jersey right there
Right,
because you're
like-
like, you suck. Fucking. Or the fan that catches the ball takes that player's place and the player has to go sit in the crowd. And now the fan is on the team. And it just goes back and forth.
Dude,
I
drafted,
love
like,
that.
right, get on the bus.
Whoever Bud C League or whatever the commissioner it is, call us here at the Lit Outlet. We got you. We'll get your ratings up, my guy.
love that, dog. I fucking love
For
that.
correction,
us.
it's Rob Manfred.
So I knew Bud C League. Is he dead? Or he's just
No,
old?
he's still alive, but he's pretty old.
That's the last time I watched baseball. Was when Bud C League was
They always blame the
commissioner.
commissioner for everything, bro.
Right,
That would be
right.
so hard, bro.
It's their fault.
You catch the ball, you're in the game now, bro.
Yeah, you're in the
would be
game now.
dope.
You could be a 7-year-old kid at third base, just like,
It's like
boom.
it's like fucking dodgeball and shit. You catch the ball, new teammate comes in. Next thing you know, there's 47 people on the
Oh
field.
man.
and
There's
then,
2 batters at once when the pitch comes out, and you got to fight over the ball.
and then you know the All-Star break. The All-Star break is like something kind of crazy. At the All-Star break, we'll have a game where like, okay, now it's gonna be old school rules, 9 innings. Let's see who's really the best. But as soon as you get back to your team, all right, back to fucking shadow ball, whatever.
to
we're
chaos.
calling
Yeah.
it. Atomic ball.
Do they wear their jerseys in All-Star or do they have National and American?
What do they do this year?
I like when they all wear their individual jerseys.
too.
I think they wore their individual jersey, but it was just
Back
one
then?
color. I think no.
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
past
It
one.
said Dodgers, but it was
said, like,
gray.
Dodgers,
with
but
gold. It was
gray,
white
Nationals.
and gold.
Oh,
and
But it was
okay.
like the jersey was the same, but you had your logo on it.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta change something. They
Go
have
back.
to change
But I
something
like
about
the
that.
old ones
shit.
with the NBA and the MLB where you saw a Mariners jersey and an Angels jersey and like all
Yeah.
the same.
But
it was
also
great.
the NBA would have had like the NBA All-Star jersey, that classic white and red
yes,
jersey.
with
That
the
was
stars,
hard.
with the
that was
stars.
dope too. But I like
Yes.
seeing like the fucking when Vince Carter was wearing his Raptors jersey and then T Mac was on his fucking Magic jersey. Like
Kobe was wearing
all the
it.
different
Yeah.
colors and shit on.
Yeah,
the
you're
court.
right. You're right. Both of them
I
go
like
hard.
That.
Both
I
of them
like
go hard.
that. I like that. But
It's hard to pick.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they think up there. You know. So
Well, let's not forget baseball is still like run by like middle America. Like they're the ones that
yeah.
It's gonna change.
Rich white man.
Eventually, it'll change. You know, you gotta get more color in the owner's box. That's it.
Yeah.
It's all on the field.
Even with golf too, I heard
Golf to me is starting to grow on me.
Me too. It's always grown on me. I feel like though, like going back to George Carlin, how he said that all that land that we have, and it just there's like 100 million acres of golf courses, and it's just like to that it just doesn't make sense. But I love the sport. I
haven't gotten on a field yet to play, but like get me on a driving range or a Top Golf, and I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
I'm having a great
time. Go
play,
dude. Playing is like if you have time in your day, go play 18 holes. Go play 18 holes on a nice day, dude. Yeah,
get faded up
yeah,
there.
and then you go to let's say a course that maybe is not busy. You go early where it's not busy. You can take your time. Me, I hate it when there are golfers there, and now they're like right behind me, and I have to rush my swing.
Yeah.
And
See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hold people. I was like, go ahead, go in front of me, bro.
Right, which you can, but at the same time, like you don't want to do that.
And I also know that like I will like sign up for a tee time, and I'll be a little late, and be like, I'll play 9 holes, and be like, all right, I'm gonna go home.
Well, I don't do
you
9
could
holes.
sign up for 9 holes anyways, and if you want to go again,
Jeff, you want to sign up for 9 holes with me?
Hell yeah, dude. Fill up all 9 holes real quick.
Hell yeah. Put my putter. I bring my putter, baby.
I bring my driver. My 6-iron.
Did you guys watch that Marshawn Lynch video?
Yes,
that fool
I
was
did.
Faded.
I didn't see the video of the car. What he did though, was he doing
The tire.
Yeah,
the
there-
video.
it was off.
There's no video of him driving. It's
He's
just a video of him
parked asleep in the car.
and there's no tire.
There's no tire.
Yeah,
And then part of the rim, the round part of the rim is also gone.
So he literally drove that bitch to the wheels fell off.
I mean, I want to see the video. Like, I want to see that.
And he's just sitting there, and they're asking him, like, do you know who you are? And he's like, no.
He said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who you are? No.
That fool in that mugshot was fucking dirty.
That shit killed
That
me.
fool was fucked up.
Yeah, it's one of those things that they say, like, don't bring that. That's why, like, this is why you don't bring the NFL to Las Vegas, because they don't know how to act. And I mean, you know, honestly, they're starting to, like, sound like it was true.
I feel like
Just so much
it
temptation.
could happen anywhere, man.
It could.
It
It
could happen
could.
anywhere. So
But it's gonna happen more in Vegas.
But Vegas,
I
look.
feel like, yes, it's gonna happen more in Vegas. But I think that since that happened in Vegas, now people are so quick to be like, see, that's what happened.
We already
It
had
in
that,
Vegas.
the fucking Henry Ruggs thing. And, like,
Right.
that shit doesn't happen in fucking Green Bay with the Packers.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anywhere.
Even
I
LA,
guess.
at LA, the clubs or whatever, everything closes at 2. You can't even buy liquor or a beer past 2.
right.
Vegas is 24/7 all day.
Well,
It's
hey,
tough. That's tough.
Maybe they need some restrictions on them then, because there are a lot
See,
of young.
this is why drugs should not be legal. You can't even handle alcohol, you know?
Yep.
Let's be honest, as humans, like, we all make mistakes. And the worst thing you could do, like, say you want to party, do drugs all by yourself, whatever, that's great. But whenever you put anybody else's life, an innocent person in danger,
course.
that's when the law or, like, us as a society have to step in and, like, all right, let's slow this down. Right?
No, of course. I mean, there's obviously freaking, reason, and if it doesn't make sense, why do it, right? But
As boring as gay as that sounds. But
yes,
it just makes sense.
it just makes sense. So obviously, there's people that don't have that guidance or that discipline that
But then it's also sometimes players fuck up.
yeah, players
you just
fuck up.
fuck up.
Yeah, I mean,
Players fuck up too. And so sometimes it's not like,
Hell yeah.
especially sometimes like that too with like people with that kind of money. Like you
Right.
can't tell them shit.
right.
Like you can't tell them nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it. Like,
That's
I'm
why
gonna do what I want to do.
That's why I feel like at the end of the day, people are gonna do what they want to do. If I want to go,
1000%.
if I want to go and drown myself in liquor and just shit, whatever, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Even if you guys try to
Stop
me, I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm still
You
gonna
know,
do
you're not
whatever
gonna
the fuck-
hold me
yeah.
back and
Still gonna
you
do
guys
whatever
aren't
the
gonna do
fuck I
that to
wanna
me.
do.
You're at the end of the day, you guys gonna be like, well, we try to tell them,
Yeah.
whatever. So people are gonna do what they want to do. You know,
Let people
so
make their mistakes.
it's changed my perspective, knowing that with, I don't really get too emotionally invested sometimes with either people or things, because at the end of the day, I already know they're not for my best interest.
My thing is this, like, I could barely, like, control and handle my life and what I'm going through. Like,
Right.
you want me to step out of my life and then go into somebody's house and like, hey, you need to start doing it. Like, bro, I could barely take care of myself.
but,
bro.
like,
yeah.
Who am I to tell you what to do?
Yeah.
As a perfect man myself with no
yeah.
flaws.
Correct.
I see why people, sometimes it's gonna do what they want to do, but like everything I do is right. I've never done anything wrong, So like I don't have to
Halo.
worry about myself like that.
Halo.
I'm perfect.
He's
okay?
a perfect human.
I am perfect. So yeah. So I can understand that. And I feel empathy for other people.
Also, we're in the middle of designing more lit outlet t-shirts. Stay tuned for that. We'll drop ship that and shit.
Snapbacks.
Also, we're accepting gifts If you guys want to send us some free shit, if you guys sell clothes, you guys do art or whatever, you guys want to see it on the wall behind us, please feel free to tap in and we'll, show you guys some love. We're in the middle of like editing that episode. And to be honest, we're a little bit in over our heads. We didn't know how long that episode was gonna take to make it look nice. And Jackson is fucking pulling his hair out right now.
That was a long ass day.
But what do you mean you're in over your head?
So we just shot so much footage, and I told Jackson exactly how I want our editor how I want it to look. And
Shout out Jackson, baby.
He's all like, "You
love you, dog."
He's like, "You don't pay me enough to do." It.
So
He's like, "Life is crazy. I haven't. He's like, I made some progress, but it's not ready yet. And it's been like a month since we did that episode.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Yeah, bro. So also another reason why you guys should join our Patreon right now, so we can afford to pay Jackson more to keep editing our stuff. So go to www.patreon.com/outlet. It's only $1, $3, $10, or $20 a month to support the brand, and we need your subscription. So please subscribe.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you guys are doing with that, man.
You as a person that owns multiple businesses, either give us some tips or advice, or how do you see the Little Outlet brand surviving? The Little Outlet brand, podcast, whatever, surviving on the internet. What do you think about it from outside looking in?
Honestly, the Lit Outlet has grew on me from where it started to where it's at now, because you guys are connecting with and talking about different things. We went from drugs to baseball to African music to everything. So it's just about
John
culture.
Mayer.
Yeah, John Mayer. So it's just connecting with I like realness, and I think that's what you guys are doing. So I don't like to say there's certain things to do. I feel like you just keep doing you, put as much content as you can, try to do as many, with the Patreon, $1, $3, $10, anything that you could try to bring in audience. I think that's the best way to do it.
I feel like as long as the product's good, at some point it'll get noticed. It'll make its worth. So as long as you keep putting out good product, real product, honest product, it'll get going.
And it's different. Like, I feel like if you, let's say, would do something baseball, like a trainer, right? Since you already know what you know about baseball, you would for sure tap into a lot of the baseball community. Me, that's why I tapped into the baseball community, because I kind of use that to my advantage. My dad is well known. I could get the kids that, or the parents that he knows, I could get their kids to train with me. So stuff like that. So I think right now, like with No Jumper, right, stuff like that, the podcast, I think that is a hit right now, and you guys are tapping in at the right time when it comes to that, because people, you could just drive to work, and that drive, you could just listen to the Lit Outlet podcast and just listen to the funny shit.
Yeah, you heard them.
Stuff like that. So
do it.
So what you're gonna listen to music, and I don't really like listening to the music sometimes, because it just it just talks about just things that I don't like. That's why
my taste in music has definitely changed. Like before, I was super into gang banging and drive-bys and fucking bitches. Like that was my thing growing up. But now that I get older, I said it before and I'll say it again, man. I still listen to music, but I be listening to hella podcasts now.
Right? Yeah.
Just real life shit. As an adult.
Speaking of which, did you listen to the Games album?
I did. I think
all 37,000 tracks.
I think I got to like.
Is there 37 songs?
There's 30 tracks.
30 or 31.
Two things. I listened to I think I did 2 hours of it. I think
it's like 2 hours. Yeah, it's like a 2-hour album.
Look, did you know?
No, it's very bad. It's a lot.
Did you know that if you put out a double album, and they listen to it once, it counts as 2 album sales?
Really?
So you could put out a triple album, and they only hear it 200,000 times. That considers it 600,000 times. So it's an easier way of going gold or platinum.
Yeah, there's probably all these weird secrets with the streams.
Isn't that crazy? So if you hear it once, it counts as twice. So even if your shit went gold, it's gonna get certified platinum.
I only listened to a couple songs on it. I didn't.
I had time.
I don't listen to any one person for 2 hours.
Do you think the game really cares about going gold though right now? At his point in his career?
You have to.
Yeah.
What if you're like let's see.
Yeah, because Game be talking shit. So he wants all that fucking, I went platinum, I went gold on you bitches.
That's a good impression.
And he has that fucking, thanks, dude. I did it. Fucking 10-minute Eminem diss out of nowhere.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The Game is my favorite rapper. I have 2 favorite rappers. I don't have a top 5. I have a top 2. It's The Game and Drake. That's it.
Top 5.
That's gayest list I've ever heard.
Top 2. The Game and Drake. Isaac knows me when I was younger. I was heavily out here.
OVO
yeah, you were heavy.
I was heavy.
You still are.
In the streets. Now I used to be heavy in the streets. Now I'm just heavy on my couch.
Now he's just heavy.
Side note. I when we came out here for baseball games, and when we were out here, because our conference was out here, I would always hit him up and be like, "Hey, you got anything to do tonight? Yeah, let's go." Okay. I think we went out like once or twice.
Tell us the
but-
story when I took all your homies out to fucking out that night.
Yeah, so we went out and
A bunch of college kids from Arizona came out to my house.
one of my homies got super faded and I think he was throwing drinks on people or something, man. It was like he was acting stupid. He got kicked out and he was drunk and obviously no one's gonna want to go babysit him, you know. And one of our friends went to go and just sit by him and shit. But it was fun. I mean, I had a good time. But yeah, that was the only thing that
This was like
happened.
low budget mo. I was still living in the garage. And I just bought a fucking 10,
the garage,
10
right.
like 20, freshly 21-year-olds from college in Arizona.
like a great time.
Mondo was here, and we were just taking shot after
Yeah.
shot. We were pre-gaming heavy.
Yep.
I think 6-7 shots in, 4 locals going crazy.
So you guys are grooming them?
Yeah, we were grooming them, right? They're all good-looking. They're good-looking young guys, right?
Good-looking young baseball players.
So then we all go to DV Lounge, and then like these fools are just turning up, going crazy. We're throwing bitches on them. They're all dancing. We're turning up, you know. I think I had a
You're
girlfriend.
getting them
I had a
drunk.
girlfriend at the time.
You're
so I
getting
was
them
like,
drunk to
fuck,
take them
go
back
with these
home.
niggas right now. Go crazy.
Just getting them drunk and take them back home and let them pass out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
well, the
Cosby.
thing is, now you get one guy that's all faded, and it's like, okay, I think there was, 7 of us or 8, like you said, 10 of us at the time, and 3 of us cared about the guy that got faded. The other guys didn't give a fuck. So, it was me, one other guy, and another guy, and we went to go check on him. We had rotations, like, all right, let me go dance, and then, I'll switch with you, and you go dance, and I'll freaking keep my eye on him.
You
So it
guys
was just,
clap cheeks or get some sweet cocksucks?
No.
We're too
Nah.
faded. Because
Well,
when you go
no,
out,
we were
you're
there,
like-
and we played. We had a game the next day, so like.
these
there-
fools came to play. It was during
Yeah,
baseball season.
during baseball
They were
season.
staying in Torrance. They got like a minivan.
Did
Uber.
you win the next day?
Dude, I'm sure we did. I don't know.
You had a flu game? You had the fucking the flu game?
Hell no.
Nah, you just hung the fuck over and shit.
Hell yeah,
That's
I
where
won.
the Adderall came in
Dude,
handy.
yes.
Full circle.
Yes, exact full
Just
circle.
Up at bat, just fucking drunk.
Yeah. I just want to tell Isaac's mom, my tia Angie, sorry, not sorry. You know, every time he comes over here, we're about to get in some shit, and you know how life is. His mom's like from East LA, like she's super old school, like OG. She knows
she knows
the
what's
streets.
going on, yeah.
She knows what the fuck's going on. So like, sorry,
what
not
the fuck it
sorry.
is.
She still has to be a mom, No, don't do that. But I mean,
Yeah, she'll be like, no, don't do it. And then she'll turn around like drink and fucking chug a beer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married now. I have a kid. I'm good. I'm
It's a
loving it.
past life. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
past life, mom, okay? He's a very young, responsible, handsome young man. And he's taking care of business.
Let's talk about the Field of Dreams MLB game. What'd you think about that?
So I only watched the highlights when
Us.
that's when I was with you yesterday. So I like the teams, Reds and Cubs, because they have a history, obviously. But right now, they're not really in a good spot division wise, and they're not good teams right now.
What-
So I feel like they could have been better teams.
What is the fuck? What is and that when
have you
bitches
seen-
played baseball?
No, have you
It's a
seen? No,
movie.
that's a League of Their Own.
Oh,
Field of
What
Dreams is
Field of
another
Dreams?
Field
movie.
of Dreams it used to be the biggest baseball movie of all time. So
And Major League
Is it
came out.
Kevin
this white
Costner?
boy,
Kevin
This
Costner?
white boy named Kevin Costner. He's
Yeah.
an old man. He used to hear things in his dream, like little whispers in the wind. If you build it, they will come. Ghosts were talking to him.
So he built his baseball.
So he
field?
took like a part
Cornfield.
of his cornfield off, and he built a baseball field. And then if he built, and he did it, and then he'll see a ghost come out of the outfield and start playing the games. And he goes, "Is anybody watching this? Does anybody see these fucking MLB players?"
It would just
and then
be
one
him.
day they were playing, and then his dad comes out because his dad used to play the MLB. And then his dad starts playing catch with him. He starts talking to his dad. He's like, "What the fuck? I'm playing catch with my dad right now." And then his grandpa comes out, his wife comes out, and then they're like, "Are you guys watching?" Like, yeah, we're seeing this shit. The Field of Dreams. Like they're watching these ghosts play baseball.
Yeah, I know
Was it
one
like
team was the
baseball Sixth Sense. So he was dead the whole time.
Yeah, kind of. It's,
Yeah, I know
it's-
the team was the
White Sox.
White Sox. Yes, the White Sox and Shirley Joe Jackson. Was it Shirley Joe Jackson?
Yeah, the guy that he got paid to throw the World Series.
So
Yeah.
they just play on
A regular
that field.
game.
They just
Yeah.
play a regular game
Yeah.
on that.
But the
field?
fact that it was like his dad and he was playing catch with his dad, like, oh my god.
People
my
thought he was
dad.
crazy because like he would be seeing them and he would tell people come to the field. Look, there's a plane. They're playing.
there.
They're like, what are you talking about? So it's just like yeah.
So it's based on a true story.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So
I
that
don't-
field.
they-
So what's the field then?
The field they built it
He
like
built a
what?
baseball field.
But for the movie, or was a movie based on a true story?
So I
don't know if
feel
it's based on a
like
true
I
story.
feel like they
'Cause it
kind of
was
took
based on a true
advantage
story.
of the movie.
He was crazy.
So they
Oh,
took
you're talking about the MLB field?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They took advantage of the movie.
Based off that, they found the MLB like 2 years ago. Found the cornfield and they built an MLB stadium on top of a cornfield.
Right.
So now they're
In
in a
Iowa.
stadium
It's in
the middle
Iowa.
of nowhere.